Be me, 27M, senior product manager for a mid-sized SaaS company. Make about $165K a year plus equity. Obsessed with optimization, quantified self, and intentional living. Apartment is a 1,400 SQ/ft industrial loft in the Arts District. Exposed ductwork, polished concrete floors, Philips Hue lighting synchronized to my circadian rhythm. Everything is smart. The fridge texts me when the oat milk is low. The blinds open automatically at 6:30 a.m. to maximize cortisol awakening response. I am the protagonist of a tech lifestyle YouTube channel that doesn't exist. Need a roommate because the rent is $4,200 and I'm trying to fire. Financial independence. Retire early by 35. Put out an ad looking for compatible energy and high vibration professional. Enter Lena, 24F, freelance digital creative and part-time yoga instructor. She smells like sandalwood and expensive mistakes. Wears oversized thrifted sweaters that somehow look like high fashion. Has a vibe that screams main character energy. I am immediately smitten, but purely on a logical level, of course. Her chaos complements my order. It is the perfect yin and yang dynamic. She moves in. Her room becomes a disaster zone of macrame, half-finished canvases, and tangled fairy lights. My common areas remain pristine temples of minimalism. I view her mess as texture in my otherwise sterile life. First month is bliss. We have family dinners. I cook sous vide salmon with asparagus foam. She contributes a bottle of natural wine that tastes like vinegar and barnyard. We sit on my $6,000 Italian leather sectional. She tells me about her trauma and her astrology chart. I nod and explain the principles of agile methodology applied to personal growth. She looks at me with wide eyes. "You're so stable," she says. "I've never met a guy who has everything so figured out." Dopamine hit massive. My provider instincts kick into overdrive. I start optimizing her life. I notice she uses a cracked iPhone 8. I upgrade her to spare 13 Pro I had lying around. "It's just depreciating asset in my drawer," I say. She hugs me, physical contact. I freeze, then pat her back awkwardly. "Thanks, Op, you're literally an angel." I am not an angel. I am a high-value male establishing a secure attachment style. Months 2-3. The boundaries start to blur. We are watching A24 movies every Friday night. She curls up on the other end of the couch. Sometimes her foot touches my leg. I analyze this micro-interaction for hours afterwards. Is it accidental? Is it a signal? I check our dating advice. Consensus: she's comfortable with you, make a move. But I am a strategist. I don't make moves based on gut feelings. I need data. I need a framework. I start paying for more things. Don't worry about the utilities this month. I mined enough crypto to cover it. Lie, my portfolio is down 40%. I ordered too much HelloFresh. Just take the extra meals. She accepts everything with a breezy manifestation works attitude. She thinks the universe is providing. I am the universe. Then the shift happens. I come home early from a co-working space. Hear voices in the living room. Lena is there with a guy. Zane. He looks like he hasn't washed his hair in 3 weeks. Wearing a tank top that shows off stick-and-poke tattoos. He is a soundscape artist. They are drinking my cold brew. "Oh hey Op," Lena says, not moving from the couch. "This is Zane. We're collaborating on a vibe." Zane nods at me. Cool pad man, very sterile. I retreat to my room. Rage builds. Not jealousy. No, it's inefficiency. Zane is a resource drain. He adds no value to the household ecosystem. He eats my organic pretzels. He leaves rings on the coffee table. I realize the problem isn't Lena. It's the lack of structure. Our relationship, roommates obviously, lacks a service-level agreement (SLA). I need to codify our domestic partnership. I spend the weekend drafting the Cohabitation Synergy Manifesto. It's 12 pages, beautifully formatted in LaTeX. Sections include 1. Resource allocation and equity. I pay more. I get veto power on guests. 2. The shared space sanctity protocol. No guests past 10 p.m. without 24H written notice. 3. Emotional labor exchange. Mandatory weekly syncs to discuss feelings and household friction. 4. The high-value interaction clause. Ban on low-effort socializing in common areas. 5. Dietary alignment. Ban on seed oils and non-organic produce in the shared fridge. I feel like a genius. This will save us. This will push out the Zanes of the world and elevate Lena to my level. Monday night. I call a house meeting. I printed the document on heavy cardstock, bound it with a minimalist clip. Lena sits down, looking confused. She's wearing one of my hoodies. My heart flutters, then hardens. Focus. "Lena," I begin. I feel like our dynamic has drifted from its optimal state. We are introducing entropy into the system. Zane, she asks, it's not about specific variables, I say, channeling Steve Jobs. It's about the operating system. I slide the manifesto across the marble island. I've drafted a framework to maximize our mutual happiness and domestic ROI. She opens it, reads the first page, reads the clause about guest vetting via background check. She laughs, a nervous, confused laugh. Is this a joke? You want me to fill out a Google form before I have a friend over? It's not a form, it's a calendar invite with metadata, I correct her. And the dietary alignment, I can't eat Cheetos. Processed corn is low vibrational energy, Lena. I'm trying to help you optimize your gut biome. She looks at me, really looks at me. For a second I see fear. Then something else, calculation. She's broke, I know she's broke. She's 2 months behind on her share of the rent, which I generously deferred. She has nowhere else to go. She closes the document. Okay, she says softly. Okay, I ask. If this is what it takes to live in this sanctuary, I'll sign. Victory. I feel a rush of power. I have disrupted the roommate market. She signs with a purple gel pen. The ink bleeds slightly on the cardstock. Phase 2 begins. Implementation. The apartment becomes silent. No more Zane. No more random music. Everything is efficient, but it feels weird. Malicious compliance mode activated. Tuesday. I walk into the kitchen. Lena is eating raw kale out of a glass bowl. Is this aligned? She asks, voice flat. Yes, great source of nitrates, I say. Great. She walks to her room. Door closes. Wednesday. Movie night. Usually, we debate what to watch for 20 minutes banter. Tonight I sit down. Per the protocol, it is your turn to select the media asset, she says. She sits on the exact edge of her designated cushion quadrant. Arms crossed. I was thinking Dune again, I say. Affirmative, the spice must flow. No emotion, no soul. She watches the movie staring straight ahead. I try to make a joke about the sandworms. Please refrain from non-critical commentary during the runtime, she says. Clause 4, subsection C, immersion maintenance. I wrote that clause because she used to talk over the dialogue. Now I miss her asking, wait, who is that guy? The movie ends. Bonding session complete, she says. Stands up. I will now retreat to my recharging station. Goes to her room. I sit in the dark. My hue lights turn to sleep mode, deep orange. I feel cold. Week 3 of the manifesto. The house is spotless. The fridge is organized by color. My life is perfectly optimized. And I am miserable. I try to initiate a casual chat. Hey, how was the ceramics studio? She stops, pulls out her phone. I need to check if we are in a designated social interaction window, she says. It's 6:15 p.m. The protocol states 6:00 to 7:00 is quiet reflection time for deep work. I can waive the protocol, I stammer. Protocol waivers require 12-hour written notice to prevent emotional whiplash, she quotes. She walks away. She is using my logic against me. She has weaponized the autism. I start to panic. I need the chaos back. I need the messy wine nights. I decide to update the firmware of our relationship. I plan a surprise, a protocol suspension party. I buy cheap beer. I buy Cheetos, the flaming hot kind she likes. I order pizza gluten-full. I set up the living room with fairy lights. I dug them out of the trash. I wait for her to come home. 7:00 p.m., 8:00 p.m., 9:00 p.m. She's not home. According to the calendar, she should be commuting from studio. I check Find My Friend. We share location for safety, i.e. surveillance. She's at a bar in Bushwick. The Rusty Nail. Dirty dive bar. I feel a pang of jealousy. I drive there in my Tesla Model 3. Park 4 blocks away to avoid getting keyed. Walk in. It smells like stale beer and bad decisions. I see her. She's in a booth with Zane and 2 other guys and a girl with pink hair. They are laughing, like actually laughing. Lena has beer foam on her lip. She looks alive, radiant. I stand in the shadows, wearing my Arc'teryx jacket. I look like a narc. I walk up to the table. Lena. The table goes quiet. Zane looks up. Oh shit, it's the landlord. I'm not her landlord, I snap. I'm her housemate. Lena looks at me. Her eyes are glazed, drunk high. What are you doing here? It's past your circadian wind down window. The table erupts in laughter. I bought Cheetos, I say, holding up the bag I brought with me for some reason. I suspended the protocol. I wanted to hang out. Lena looks at the Cheetos. Then at Zane. Zane puts his arm around her. She's resigned, bro, Zane says. What? I'm moving out, Lena says. But the lease, the manifesto, you signed a 6-month commit. I read the fine print, she says, voice suddenly sober. Clause 9, force majeure. In the event of a toxic psychological environment rendering the habitat spiritually uninhabitable, the tenant may exit without penalty. Spiritually uninhabitable, I sputter. I bought you an iPhone, I optimized your gut biome. You tracked my bowel movements on a spreadsheet, op. The pink-haired girl gasps. He did what? It was for health optimization. I yell. People are staring. The bartender is looking at me. I treated you like a queen, I scream. I gave you structure, I gave you stability. You gave me a cage, she says, and you made me pay rent for it. She stands up, throws a crumbled piece of paper at me. It's a check. Here's the back rent. Zane sold an NFT. Zane, this guy. Yeah, we're moving into a squat in Berlin next week. We're gonna make art. Berlin, you can't live in a squat. What about your dental hygiene? What about the ergonomic support for your back? Goodbye, op. They all stand up and leave. I am left standing in the middle of a dive bar, holding a bag of flamin' hot Cheetos, wearing a $600 jacket. A guy at the bar looks at me. You gonna eat those? I hand him the bag. Walk out to my Tesla. Sentry mode recorded 47 events. Someone drew a penis on the dust on my trunk. Drive home in silence. Apartment is empty. Her room is cleared out. She took the fairy lights. She took the iPhone 13. She left the protocol on the counter. A sticky note attached to page 1. You can't optimize a soul, weirdo. I sit on my Italian leather sectional. I open the app to adjust the lights. Party mode. The lights flash purple and green. Alone. I open my laptop. Start a new spreadsheet. Post-mortem analysis. Relationship failure and variable identification. Row 1, the Zane factor. Row 2, ROI of altruism. I type for hours. Realize I'm hungry. Go to the fridge. It's perfectly organized and completely empty, except for the asparagus foam. I eat it with a spoon. It tastes like regret and lemon zest.